all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Shit.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So you
Hey, y'all, Gravity, any day above ground, live it. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday the 13th. I could have done that live that we're doing today, tomorrow, but I figured today because you need to be informed today. Telling you tomorrow, you might get less information and you might not be quicker to make a decision. I purposely put this thumbnail together because AI is this. But I also put it together because I know people look at pictures and get words out of pictures, even though there's no words in the picture. Yeah, that's 47 because he couldn't become 46. This man, through all the tariffs and the BS he pulling, he ain't been talking about something that's been going on since the dawn of time, terrorism. In 2 days, there'll be tanks all over DC to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday. And somebody said it was his birthday. I ain't sure. It probably is. I don't give a damn. This is what we're using tax dollars for. And the kids can't read, but if the kids did understand what we're about to tell them today is I've been saying this for months. There's going to be a terrorist attack in this country next month. And for some reason, it's lining up. So today, America and the melanated immigrants that are on code, I, your host, Kid Gravity, will give you the information that the other people will not give because they don't know how to interpret it. If you remember, I started talking about this in 2023. But before we do all of that, let us see who's in the building. Jerry Bedford, hello. Brooklyn Queen 125, hello. Wallow J, hello. Miss Nisi, hello. Kyrie, hello. Reparations Nation, hello. Nightfall Drop, hello. And for those who haven't said anything in the live chat or the comments, good morning. Now we're going to see articles and possible videos. So since we're going to see possible videos, we must do the ubiquitous house cleaning and say hello to Instagram.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose, such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
All right, we're going to begin here. We're going to go back into history. Now, for those who were here in 2023, we had done a live stream, and I talked about this article right here from CBS News. Inside America's only military base in Africa as it tries to prevent the rise of a new bin Laden or someone worse. Now, for some reason, I hate CBS News because their player never works, but that's okay. Now, this happened in Djibouti. I know that's not the name of it, but you know, whatever. Who cares? And this entire article, which we'll put in the chat, had to deal with the fact that America had a base, its only base in Africa over there in Djibouti. But they stay on the water. They stay in other countries. They were just monitoring, because they said that there was an Al-Qaeda cell that could possibly mutate into something worse than what we saw with bin Laden in them. Now, this article was written in 2022. And again, we went over in 2023. Updates. And we have a new update sounder for everybody.
Ha ha, joke's on you.
That's right, joke's on you, because they're coming, family. And possibly they might already be here.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
A former Army National Guardsman is behind bars, accused of plotting an ISIS-inspired attack on his fellow soldiers at a military facility near Detroit. The FBI says Ammar Saeed launched a drone to conduct last-minute surveillance on the base. The alleged plan called for a mass casualty attack involving Molotov cocktails, assault-style guns, and armor-piercing ammunition.
That was on May 29th, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. 21-year-old Angelina Resendiz was last seen in her barracks on May 29th.
So y'all just
her mother says the Navy
play this month. Okay. I got you. They was just going to play that. Okay. But yeah, there you go, family. Now we can X out. There you go. You had a soldier. I bet the news didn't tell your favorite influencer / content creator, which I call news, according to a lot of you. They didn't tell you that, huh? The Sahel region in Africa is now the epicenter of terrorism on the globe. A 4-star Marine Corps general warned Thursday, with terror factions there having increased their presence dramatically in the past 3 years, ramping up their ability to launch attacks inside the U.S. The dire warning by General Michael Langley, head of the U.S. Africa Command, comes as the Trump administration cancels aid programs across the continent and considers military leadership in Africa, with one already overseeing troops in Europe. So less resources. Got it. It is the flashpoint of prolonged conflict and growing instability. It is the epicenter of terrorism globe, Langley said, of the Sahel region in Africa, namely Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. 3 countries that are rising up, but yeah. Of particular concern is one factor with Al-Qaeda known as JNIM, which has expanded fourfold since 2022 and now controls much of Burkina Faso, he said. We're keeping a good eye on this because they could have the capacity to attack the homeland, he said of the group. U.S. officials have long warned about the influence of powerful terror groups operating out of the Northwest and Central Africa, particularly as China and Russia invest heavily there and are forging alliances with local governments to gain influence. Last year, the U.S. shuttered a military base in Niger that was considered a crucial hub for American counterterrorism operations after governing militia there asked the U.S. to leave and welcome Russian troops instead. Extremist groups are gaining ground and also expanding their ambitions. Therein lies the threat to the homeland as they gain in capacity and capability. I know words, but whatever, he said. There's that. Now, yeah. Do you think this is just a justification of going into Africa and eliminating Burkina Faso's leader, Traore? Knowing how governments work, they'll probably say he has a link to him. He cool with the leader. That wouldn't be smart, though. I'm just going to say this because he's cool with not only Russia, but he's also cool with the Middle East. I wouldn't do that. But again, when has America done anything in its own interest that didn't go wrong? But there's that. Now we get into the scary territory. Now, I don't want y'all to be scared, but, you know, you should have concern.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
On your screen, this is from Financial Express, because, you know, we go all over the place for information. Al-Qaeda leader calls for jihad against U.S. Names Trump, Musk, Rubio, others over pro-Israel stance. An Al-Qaeda leader with a $6 million bounty has called for the deletion of U.S. President Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Marco Rubio, and others closely associated with the White House over America's pro-Israel stance. Okay. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula leader Syed bin Atef al-Awlaki, or Laki, whatever, has issued a chilling video message for the deletion of U.S. President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and others closely associated with the White House. Al-Awlaki, or Al-Laki, whatever the fuck. Also, 34-minute video message urged people to go after the families of those who are closely associated with the White House. This comes after the United States backed Israel amid the ongoing war in Gaza. There are no red lines after what happened and is happening to our people in Gaza, Al-Awlaki declared, calling on Muslims in the United States, regardless of their ethnic background, to take revenge. As a first practical and immediate measure, I call upon every Muslim in the infidel, criminal, and arrogant in the U.S., and it doesn't matter if they are of Arab or other descent. What matters is they should be Muslims whose prophet is Muhammad, he said. He then gave a call for revenge in the name of jihad and added, do not consult anyone about killing infidel Americans. You should have a lot of determination. Of your targets should be effective. Go after the scum of the earth and its greatest criminals, he further said before showing pictures of U.S. President Trump and VP J.D. Vance. He also showed an image of Elon Musk, whom he described as Trump's supporter in terms of finance, administration, and technology. He also showed pictures of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Go after their families, all those who have any ties or are close to the politicians of the White House, he further said. The U.S. government has $6 million bounty on Syed bin Atef al-Awlaki, also known as Saddam Muhammad Atif. He's believed to belong to the same tribe as former Al-Qaeda ideologue Anwar al-Awlaki, was killed in a U.S. drone strike in 2011. Saad has a history of inciting violence against the U.S., its allies, and Jewish community. Do not leave a single safe place for Jews, just as they have not left any homes, shelters, or respite for the Palestinians. AQ, a Yemen-based Islamist extremist group, was formed in 2009 following the merger of Al-Qaeda's Saudi and Yemeni branches. The U.S. designated it as a foreign terrorist organization in 2010. That's crazy. Well, there's that. But let's start talking about old JNIM, so you guys can understand what we may be facing in the coming months. So get out your notebooks, because now we're going to teach.
Get to work! You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
So this is via the Washington Post. This came out 4 days ago. A powerful, opaque Al-Qaeda affiliate is rampaging across West Africa. In the space of just a few months, the Al-Qaeda affiliate overrun major cities in Burkina Faso and Mali, carried out the deadliest ever attack on soldiers in Benin, and expanded its hardline Islamist rule across the region. No one knows when its fighters will strike next or where they plan to stop. After years spent quietly gaining Jama'at Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslim, or the JNIM, is now the most well-armed militant force in West Africa and among the most powerful in the world, according to regional and Western officials, with as many as 6,000 fighters under its command. Local strategies employed to combat JNIM are accelerating its rise, officials and experts say, as atrocities by West African forces have allowed the group to claim the moral ground and legitimize its growing authority. The United States has largely pulled back from or been pushed out of the fight, leaving in its wake a deepening security vacuum and mounting anxiety over JNIM's aims and capabilities. Their creatorial state that stretches like a belt from western Mali all the way to the borderlands of Benin is a substantial, even exponential expansion, says Hanin Nsibia, I guess. West African senior analyst, the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, or ACLED, a nonprofit research group. We're not finna show that. It look like somebody finna get it. JNIM, along with the rival Islamic State province, has turned the region into an epicenter of Islamic insurgency. The Institute for Economics and Peace's annual index last year found 51% of terrorism deaths worldwide were in the Sahel, a vast, tumultuous region south of the Sahara that spans the breadth of Africa. The chaos ravaging the region has helped military officers seize power in coups, vowing to break with the West and restore calm. Did you get that last part? You said, just a question, other than the pirates in Somalia, when has the U.S. ever gave a F about what goes on in Africa? When there was money to be made, like they're doing now. When they see BRICS expanding, but don't want to tell y'all they're expanding into Africa and gaining influence, now they care. And now they want to try to put some tariffs on because the rare earth metals are about to be out of our possession and our ability to pay for it. Here, great question. If their issue is in the war, is the war of Gaza, why rise up in Africa now? The war has been raging for a year now. Because there's money to be made. Africa's money ability is limitless. You could fund a bloody war forever. But let's continue. But in most countries, the situation has only gotten worse. In 2024, Burkina Faso ranked as the nation most affected by terrorist violence for a second straight year, and Niger saw the largest increase in terrorism-related deaths globally. In a sign of JNIM southward spread, Togo reported the most terrorist attacks in its history. Benin has reported nearly as many deaths in the first 3 months of this year than in all of 2024. And there's a map of it. Increasingly, experts say JNIM's informant and supply chain networks are stretching into stable nations such as Ghana, Senegal, and Guinea. Governments fear their fighters could soon fall. Informant and supply chain networks. Why use them? Because it's easy to sell it that it's the Arabs, it's the Muslims. It's easy. It's easy to sell it to the right wingers and the hardliners here. It's easy. They may hate each other, but they damn sure gonna hate anybody that is colored, especially if you're Arab or Muslim. But we continue. The Washington Post interviewed experts and officials in 5 countries to shed light on why the group is growing so fast and what its endgame might be. Reporters also traveled to the porous borderlands between Burkina Faso and Ghana, where tens of thousands have fled violence by JNIM and government forces to speak to refugees about life under militant rule. Counted how gun-toting JNIM members burst into mosques in Burkina Faso in recent years, announcing that strict Islamic laws would be implemented, schools would be closed, and state institutions would be targeted. Violating the rules the extremists made clear would carry a price. Nearly 6,000 civilians have been deleted by the group in the past 5 years, according to ACLED data. There's more. Refugees said that initially they did the group outright, but their anger was redirected by the government's response, a militia-led wave of deletion targeting the Fulanis, a semi-nomadic, predominantly Muslim ethnic minority spread out across West Africa. Skeptical Lows became eager recruits. They were afraid and they ran to them, says Amadou Diallo. That must be a common name over there. That might be like their version of like Bob Smith. Okay. A 69-year-old Burkinabe describing his 3 daughters and their husbands who joined JNIM after militia members killed scores of their fellow Fulani. As the threat grows across West Africa, the region has largely fallen off the radar in Washington. See that? See that? They're not even paying attention. And then when we get hit, who they gonna blame? I'm gonna see if y'all paying attention. They do this terrorist attack. First person they're gonna blame. According to interviews with 4 current and former U.S. like other officials in this story, they spoke to the Post on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive details. American drones once flown from Niger, where U.S. troops were forced out last year by the country's militia junta, have battled West Africa, according to 2 former U.S. officials with knowledge of the situation. They added that plans to relocate the drones to Ivory Coast and Benin have been scrapped. There are now fewer than 200 troops in the region, mostly stationed in countries along the coast, down from about 1,400 as recently as 2020, according to current and former officials. The State Department press office said the U.S. continues to work with various partners in West Africa to counter the scourge of terrorism from groups like JNIM, and noted that Will Stevens, a top American from the region, recently visited Burkina Faso, Niger, and Benin to discuss the growing presence of violent extremist group organizations. Damn. You know, be crazy. Well, it might not be crazy. Never mind. I was gonna say something. AFRICOM declined to comment. A spokesperson pointed to recent remarks by General Michael E. Langley, the head of AFRICOM, who emphasized that the U.S. was focused on helping African nations build the self-reliance to fight terrorism. But the vast majority of programs run through the Global Fragility Act, a multi-year initiative intended to bolster stability in vulnerable West African countries, have been shut down by the Trump administration. JNIM is ascendant, one of the former U.S. officials said, in a region where we used to monitor what was happening. We no longer have the tools. JNIM. We got to figure out a name for this. JNIM. We'll just call him JNIM. Founded in Mali in 2017 as an umbrella organization combining 4 Islamist extremist groups, is headed by Iyad al-Ghali and Amadou Koufa, leaders of a 2012 uprising that saw separatists and Islamists take over much of the country's north. Al-Ghali belongs to the mostly Muslim Tuareg ethnic group, which has fought for decades to establish an independent state in northern Mali. Koufa is a Fulani preacher based in central Mali. The differences between the two men have broad appeal and contributed to uncertainty about its goals. The group operates on a franchise model, experts say, tailoring its strategies to local customs and its recruiting to local grievances. But wherever its fighters go, there's a strict Salafist version of Islamic law. Ali Diallo, a 53-year-old herder from Burkina Faso's Boucle du Muhan region, was washing himself before prayers at his local mosque in 2023 when a group of beard-wearing turbans forced him and the other men inside and locked the door. I thought we were going to die, Ali Diallo said, recalling that the men wore machine guns across their chests. But 2 men stood where the imam usually stood and started preaching. They said their fight was with the government and their goal was to spread out, not to the leaders. Shortly afterward, the extremists closed his children's school. We were angry, said Aseta Diallo, his 19-year-old daughter. We just started sitting at home. Strict dress codes were in the community with veils required for women and short pants for men. Naming and wedding ceremonies were banned. Loud music, too. In its strongholds in central and southern Mali, experts say the group has made agreements with communities that come residents to adhere to JNIM's rules and pays zakat or taxes in exchange for not being attacked. In recent months, these local pacts had allowed JNIM to shift its focus and move its manpower to neighboring Burkina Faso and coastal nations Benin. These guys are smart, sophisticated, and evolving, said Corinne Dofka, a veteran Sahel analyst based in Washington. And now there is a model for mainstreaming their political evolution. Political evolution. They're going to become a government. Ooh. Some of JNIM's senior figures, Dufka said, are looking to Ahmed al-Sharaa, the Syrian leader who has recast himself as a moderate after once being associated with Al-Qaeda, as a model for their own trajectory. When Sarraj's rebel group overthrew the Assad regime last year, JNIM issued a statement of congratulations. And when Koufa was interviewed by French journalists and did not mention Al-Qaeda, prompted speculation about a possible break with the group. Western and West African officials and experts estimate JNIM has between 5,000 and 6,000 combatants, but say a lack of intelligence makes it difficult to arrive at a definitive figure. Fighters have long target symbols of foreign influence in the region, including attacks against French and UN forces. More recently, have threatened Russian mercenaries fighting alongside Malian troops. And Lise Bernard, a former State Department advisor who now runs a private security working in West Africa, said the group has metastasized to such an extent that it now directly impacts U.S. national security. And she added, they are expanding undeterred into the countries we have long considered robust security partners. Military officers staged coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger in response to the growing violence, promising an all-out war against the extremists. In Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traore's strategy has hinged on arming more than 50,000 militia members who have committed scores of atrocities, groups say. Each attack has become a recruiting opportunity for JNIM. In March, the town of Solenzo, Burkina Faso, government militias killed dozens of mostly Fulani citizens and filmed the aftermath, according to rights groups. A video shared by the perpetrators on social showed the deceased, including women and children, piled into trucks. In the days after the attack, JNIM released videos condemning the government. These miscreants want us to fight back and kill innocent women and kids, which will lead to a civil war, said one JNIM leader in another video. Yet our fight is not to defend a country or an ethnicity, but religion instead. Because I'm sure you're going to put this out there and just keep repeating it. And that's, here we go. We're going to have another religious war, family. Yeah, we're ready for this. You know why, Don P. And good morning, sir. You know why. French messy. Just because they speak French over there, they are messy. This has always been messy, but that's okay. They are what Rob Parker calls the cornball brother. All right, let's continue. The videos were part of a wider propaganda blitz by the group during Ramadan in March. Fighters in brightly covered headscarves were filmed in action in camps or reading from the Quran, guns propped up in front of them. Well, that's interesting. Since 2019, it has deleted more than 5,800 civilians in the region, according to ACLED. About 9,600 civilians have been deleted by regional militaries and government-allied militias. In areas where JNIM has achieved strong control, violent attacks against citizens tend to decline, analysts said. We read that a lucrative insurgency. Here we go. Long-haul truck driver Yakubu Janwe travels across the region, a dangerous job that gives him to JNIM's expanding influence. The group controls many of the major roads in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, he said. Truck owners have cut deals with the militants to ensure drivers are not stopped. During one dispute over payment, he said JNIM members seized his truck full of tea and left him wandering in the bush. He was rescued by the driver about 24 hours later, he said, but it took his boss a full year to get the vehicle back. The trucking agreements are just one strand in a complex web of illicit commerce that JNIM uses to finance its insurgency. Members are involved in gold mining in Burkina Faso and Mali, according to Kurtz and a former member of the group. Others engineer massive cattle rustling schemes, including in Ghana, run kidnapping networks, or are involved in smuggling drugs and motorcycles. Analysts say an increasingly large share of JNIM's funding comes from the taxes levied on communities in Mali and Burkina Faso. Solidifying its base of operations has allowed the group to devote more resources to attacks in Benin, said Andrew Lebovich, a research fellow with the Clindale Institute. I guess that's what it is. I don't know. An ambush last month in the far north of the country killed 54 soldiers, the military said. Soldiers were caught off guard, according to a Benin military official. It's hard to track their move, official said. JNIM is now actively recruiting in Benin, according to the official and experts. In the country's far north, recruiters now openly present themselves to local leaders as they did when they first moved into parts of Burkina Faso and Mali. Group's weapons come largely from the government forces it has defeated, according to a recent report by Conflict Armament Research. There have been so many of these defeats that JNIM has been able to amass a formidable arsenal of machine guns, drones, and anti-aircraft weaponry, and has demonstrated them to deadly effect. Woo! Last month, JNIM took control of Djibu, a regional capital in north Burkina Faso, killing scores of soldiers and civilians and holding the city from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Fighters posed for pictures on the streets and in government offices, including under a photo of Traoré, and vowed they were coming for the young president. At a recent U.S.-led training in Tamale in northern Ghana, a standalone AFRICOM exercise spared from the Trump administration's regional cuts. Soldiers from Ghana, Benin, and Ivory Coast said the images from Djibu circulated in their WhatsApp groups, JNIM on top of their mind across the region. They're more violent, more organized, and have more means, said a military official from Ivory Coast. They wanted to spread Islam at first, but now it seems like they want to get all the way to the sea. Their theory was echoed by a U.S. official who said the group sees its expansion as a kind of manifest destiny and appears to be pushing for a route to the Atlantic, which would dramatically increase the reach of its smuggling networks. Ghana, a nation of 33 million, still seen as a bright spot of stability and democracy in West Africa, has not been attacked yet by JNIM, but officials from neighboring countries have told their Ghanaian counterparts to be on guard. Already, regional officials and experts said JNIM is using Ghana to restock its supplies and arrest its fighter assaults in Burkina Faso. Along the country's shared border, which is marked by narrow sandy footpaths and potholed roads, a group of Ghanaian immigration officers are doing their best to patrol, but they said they need more resources. Doesn't that sound familiar? 16 officers are tasked with guarding the 10-mile border. They can often hear the echoes of gunshots on the other side. Burkinabes cross every day and they tell us what is happening there, said Gabriel Aful, one of the officers. Was he nervous about the future? Aful simply not. Then there's this. Al-Qaeda's pivot to Africa shows it favors opportunism over principles. We looked at yeah. They're not playing. And these folk over here, this is stuff you need to be telling people. Then you also remember that we're not a serious nation. All these fools on the left and right, they're all for play. Oh, you don't believe me? I figured you didn't. Let me show you how serious they take our national security. And you're going to love it.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
I saw this video yesterday. And I saved it. I put it up. I believe this morning. I don't remember. This is allegedly one of our soldiers. He's in DC right now. And what is he doing? You're gonna see. And you should be worried.
Get to work! So I am standing right now where the President of the United States is going to be standing this Saturday for the Army's 150th birthday. Behind me is going to be the parade, but right there is the White House.
So you're giving out tactical data. Okay.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. We are going to have Bradley takes, Strikers, M1 Abrams. We're going to have flyovers of F-22s, a whole bunch of the might of America. We're going to 250 soldiers re-enlisting right here. Secretary of Defense, Vice President of the United States, President of the United States, as the Golden Knights descend from the skies with the flag at sunset to hand the President of the United States a flag. Soldiers re-enlist. This is going to be amazing.
So you're giving our enemies time by time instructions and directions on where the president, vice president, secretary of defense, and others are going to be. You're giving away troop move. Miss Nisi, come here. Miss Nisi, get yourself up here, please. You might be at work, but get up here. I need to explain why he's doing this video. There's just some things you just don't tell. Didn't we not just have a discussion months ago about this? About telling stuff, what's going on out here. And he's just doing it. Interesting. You gotta love it.
Jesus Christ. Is this a joke? Huh? Are you joking right
now? This is them.
The only reason why I'm calling up because I heard Wallow call my name for something. I was busy feeding the dog. Yeah, I'm not kicking. Sorry about that. But anywho, good morning, KJ.
Good morning.
I cannot believe what I just witnessed.
Oh, we got more. We're not done. We got more.
Me being ex-military, I served in the Gulf War, did 8 years. You do not advertise shit on social media. How fucking dumb are you? I don't know everything, but I know that.
Uh-oh. What's that you said?
Did you hear me?
I ain't hear nothing.
Okay, I will repeat. You not disclose any military operations via social media. That's some stupid shit.
Oh.
We have Warren Ziders, who's going to be doing a musical performance starting at 6:30 p.m. right here. So, tune in because this is an amazing opportunity. This is a once-in-a-lifetime to see and celebrate American soldiers and their service. We're going to have people dressed in the appropriate apparel from conflicts from World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, Korean War, the obviously global war on terror. Support our soldiers out this Saturday. Support the greatest nation to have ever existed. 6:30 p.m. God bless America.
This fool even told him the time. Lord.
Other than the obvious that he's white, I'm surprised his chain of command ain't stomped a rat hole in his ass. You don't do that.
Yeah, he did it though.
Fucking clout Jason. That's bullshit. You endangering the lives of everybody here in America.
Yeah. But again, they want social media hits. Hey, look at that. He did this on Instagram. We should go look at those comments.
Oh my God. Give me.
We should. Hey.
I don't mean it like that.
I was about to say only if you're nasty. Let's look. Let me look. Oh, he verified. Okay. Let me look. Where's the video? So don't tell me you took it down. Oh. Wait. He took it down.
Which means he got called fuck out.
No, here it is.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's it right there. Let's see. When the United States should have a military parade to show off its might, President Dwight Eisenhower said, absolutely not. We are the preeminent power on earth. For us to try to imitate what the Soviets are doing in Red Square will make us look weak. We are aware of the draft dodger. Oh, Trump, we know this.
Hell yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, of course he got the right wing blue checks out there. How much they pay you for this? He for the flavor.
Unbelievable.
You spend money on veterans housing. They'll never do that. Love a $25 to $45 million birthday party using taxpayer money. It's actually going to cost more than that, but okay. No one wants this. No one cares. Trump hates the military. He doesn't respect you at all. We just want healthcare and affordable housing, getting all the grifters in one place. Get all the grifters. Maybe there's hope for America. Yeah, right.
Please.
Blindly following. You have a duty to defend the Constitution. This guy called himself a president, bringing shame to our country. All right. So it's taxpayer money, not wasteful at all. Claiming it's for freedom while threatening to use heavy, potentially lethal force against protesters who most likely will not be engaging in any illegal activity whatsoever. That's a bold claim. I'm surprised it's still. White House do better. I can think of 1,000 ways to spend that money better. $34 trillion debt and counting with these displays of cheap power. I've never seen a Green Beret worn so terribly before. Not gonna lie. God damn.
I'm serious, KG. I'm surprised his chain of command has not gone after him.
What's my saying?
The white vote has doomed us all.
That's one of them. What's the other one?
It's too fucking early in the morning. Tell me.
They don't want to save the country. They just want to be celebrities.
That's true. Very, very true.
He's probably retired military. And they're probably not going to say nothing to him. He's trolling us with that beret.
Trolling or not, that's just some fucked up shit.
Why does your beret look like that? Save the millions of dollars to give to the millions of families whose food and medical care you're trying to cut. This is disgrace. My dude, you're embarrassing yourself. You guys are totally correct. I should have worn my beret 1 inch further to the left. I appreciate the criticism, but please come to the parade regardless. This is what he wrote. This is what he wrote.
Yeah, I'm listening. And see, I'm not that far from DC. Remember, I'm in Charleston.
Oh, I know. You're about an hour and a half away. I know. Don't do it, though. Please don't go down there.
Please. I do good to bring my black ass to work.
It's at 6:30. You'll be off by work by then.
I get off at 3. And once I go home, I'm in the house.
Have a bag in your car. You just go straight there.
Thank you.
You can get some mambo sauce.
I can get mambo sauce, but I ain't got to go to DC to get it, though.
Word. Okay. Oh, they sell it now in West Virginia? That's
how
much tariff you paid on that?
Oh, honey, I got the big bottle. I'm good. I ain't going to run out.
How much tariff you paid?
This is before all that bullshit.
Okay. All right. Miss Niecy got the bet you keep filling up the bottles with. My bad. All right, let me see. You're good, brother. Don't listen to the noise. There they go. There they go. Wait a minute. How you got only 468, but you got a blue check? Huh?
Clout chasing.
Wait a minute. Did you pay for this?
Yeah, he paid for it. That's
crazy. All right. Maybe I should do that. I got more. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. You try to push hate and say, please come. What kind of true military man does that? Act like an adult, sir.
We don't have a true military, honey. We don't. It's too many split allegiances.
Hold on. They're saying he turned his back on people for money? What did he do? Oh, now they got me interested. You ready to go down a rabbit hole with me, Miss Neezy?
Let's go.
All right. Let me see. American mixed martial artist. Oh, he was in the USC? Okay. Let me see. What did he do? 18-6. That's not a bad record. Okay. Is this him? I think this is him.
I'm back in the office.
I don't see what he did. He really put that he became an action figure in 2021.
This motherfucking ass lying.
No, he probably did. Let me look. Where's the stat? Let me see. He probably made his own action figure. There it is.
Homemade bullshit.
There it is.
Mm-mm.
There it is. What is this? And a comic book? Oh Lord.
Grifting.
Oh man, you gotta love it. Where'd y'all get this from? What company did you get this from? Veteran owned. Okay, it's always veteran owned. Oh Lord. Sheepdog response virtual training. What is these bullet? Oh, metal snap caps. Oh, he's selling bullets online. Look at this guy. Advanced pistol training. December 13th. $425. You want to pay for that, Miss Neezy?
Who you talking to?
I'm telling you.
No, you talking to me.
Ain't you on the line?
I'm on the line. You know what I meant. Don't be
starting shit. You don't want none of this? Live training?
No, thank you.
Virtual training?
No.
Okay. But somebody yesterday told me that they couldn't be no millionaires just selling bullshit. Look at this.
I'm looking.
A handcuff key. Why would I buy a handcuff key for $6?
He just grifting.
He just said, hey, take all this. Escape capsules. Look at this. Escape capsules. This motherfucker ain't bond.
Excuse me.
Lord. Look. I thought y'all didn't like Disney. Wait a minute. I thought y'all didn't like Disney.
What the fuck? A Mickey Mouse?
Yo, wait a minute. Let me look. I want to see what he said on Disney. Let me look. If he criticized Disney, boy. Let me see. I might have to put the MMA. Let's see. I gotta see if he says something. That's crazy. Why y'all disrespecting the mouse like that? Oh, they don't like the new one. They don't like the new one. That's what it is. They don't like the new one.
What new one? Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, they don't like the new Mickey Mouse. Huh. What is this? Famous veteran accused of fabricating war stories floats wild defense. Huh. What this be? Fuck you talking about? Anyway, Tim Kennedy thinks he might be facing serious allegations of fabricating his war record because of a potential political position. The Green Beret and former USC fighter is facing intense backlash and scrutiny after the Anti-Hero podcast released an episode that questioned several parts of Kennedy's best-selling book, Scars and Stripes. The now age-restricted episode.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to. Did he say Scars and Stripes?
Scars and Stripes.
Continue.
The now age-restricted episode released on November 25th blew up on Instagram and in the military community after host Brent Tucker, a former Delta Force operator, and Tyler Hoover, an Army veteran, argued that Kennedy had exaggerated parts of the Battle of Firebase Anaconda or outright made them up. Kennedy later released a video of his own addressing some of the smaller claims made in the Anti-Hero podcast, but largely ignoring the claims about sniping large groups of people, guns being put on truck drivers, running out of ammo when it made no sense. Having a rifle in the military didn't allegedly issue to Green Berets. A fascination with grenades and more. I'd encourage everyone to the entire podcast and form their own opinions on Kennedy's claim and the allegations against him. It's not my job to tell you who's correct. It's your job to assess the information and make your own decision. You can watch it here. He now thinks he might have a theory on why he's being targeted. Politics. Kennedy spoke with Liz Wheeler, of course he did, and floated the possibility that he's under consideration for some kind of government job once Donald Trump returns to the Oval Office as president. And we know what happened then. Never got it. He told Wheeler the following. Oh, wait. Oh, we have the clip here.
He's a special forces.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh,
I can't
boy.
do that to y'all this morning. That is an ugly white woman. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I don't do y'all like that.
Aren't they all?
The cake up with the fake up. I can't do that to y'all. My bad. I'll take that. We'll just read this. Yeah, it does. I don't even where it came out the day before Thanksgiving. It actually came out several days before Thanksgiving. So they had 6 days of it just kind of like sitting there, getting lots of views and attention while I'm hanging out with my family, cooking a turkey, traveling with the family. Another thing that's happening is that I'm working for the Army staff, active service member in the Maryland National Guard. I'm really proud to still have the opportunity to serve. Depending on some of these appointments, I'm hoping to serve any way that I'm called. There's backgrounds and due diligence and discovery on lots of people that are working in lots of different offices to go into new appointee positions. And this podcast drops right as that's happening for a lot of us because they've never done that before. Just like emails being leaked out about Pete Hegseth and accusations about Tulsa Gabbard. Tulsa. It's right there. So y'all can't tell me I mispronounced her name. That's whoever wrote this. Tulsa. Okay. Who was also another incredible service member. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it was a well-timed and specifically released intention. One, they're trying to make a lot of money. We have lots of sponsors, and those sponsors are loving the fact it's a big article. It's actually a podcast, not an article. Oh, Lord. With lots of search results around. And they're literally laughing off attacking veterans. They went after Marcus Luttrell for his book Lone Survivor. They went after Jocko Willenick for his book Extreme Ownership. They went after Rob O'Neill. Huh. Oh, MAGA.
I'll be glad when they die, finally.
November 3rd. I don't even know why this woman blocked me, but whatever. The White House posted this? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Don't tell me that. Please don't tell me this. Was it their Twitter page that put it up? Let me look. I'm going to laugh if they really did this. No, this is defeating inflation. Yeah, okay. Lower than expected. Okay. Never mind. Where is it? Oh, they did. The White House reposted it.
What?
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Y'all reposted it. By the way, non-Americans have the right to participate in peaceful protests on your birthday. Threatening Americans with violence if they turn out to protest is violating our rights as Americans. Found my copycat tater. Y'all out of this one. Y'all out of here. This is not smart, but you know, we're dealing with people who are not smart. They retweeted it. Let me see what he got. Wait, you got a what? They got a website for this? Oh Lord. Who made this website? I need to know who made this website. Official website of the U.S. Semi-Quennial Commission. Oh my God.
I ain't gonna be watching none of that bullshit.
Are y'all serious right now? Y'all can't be serious. So you have to sign up for this. So anybody could sign up for this. And you ain't got to pay nothing. Damn, if I had to work till 9 o'clock on Saturday, I'd stream this whole damn thing. You know what? I might get my old lady.
Don't even waste your time.
This is crazy. We might see something. We might see a coup happening in real time. This is who's sponsoring this? And there we go. And there we go. I told you. What have I told y'all about these rabbit holes? You think they're deep? They're deep. Look, I thought all these companies didn't like the administration. Wait a minute. Put their money in. Look. Look who it is. Oh,
I'm looking.
Family, I told y'all it's us against them all day, every day, twice on Sunday, 4 times on a holiday. Big business. Look at this. Come on. Come on. Goldman Sachs. Come on. The UFC. Do you see this?
I'm looking.
Walmart. Whew. Supporting partners. Let's see. My bad. Hold on.
KG. KG.
Sorry, I had a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did you see that the YMCA is sponsoring this? National Resource. Ooh, the National Women's History Museum. Indigenous Culture and History. Oh, I wonder what they're gonna have on this. Huh. Okay. What Fed agencies on this? Supreme Court, the DOJ, State Department. The United States Mint. Well, there you go, fam. You gotta have the corporate first, though. That was funny. Corporate first. But yes, Miss Niecy, yeah. So this is the person giving away all the trade secrets. This fool right here.
Yeah. Damn shame.
But you know, that's them.
Yep. Don't know shit.
Now they're gonna say, watch, they're gonna say Saturday someone shot a missile at them. But you know.
Well, KG, I got to drop off. I got a customer just walked in.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Cannons to the left. Cannons to the right. Lord, we in trouble. But anyway, family. There's that. Just watch your 12, 6, 9, and 3. Because it's about to get crazy. I'll try to get across the Atlantic Ocean. And they're trying to do us harm. So please stay ever vigilant. But hopefully you learn something. I'd have done my job. If not, I try to be better next time. I see you when I see you. I don't know when that's going to be. But we'll be around. But definitely next Monday. We'll have fun. But anyway, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
Time's up. But did we have a good time here? Hello? Gotta get your groove on.
At the end of the day gotta end.
Able to hit that. It looked like he was going to the standing ovation earlier on. RKO out of nowhere.
And that's it.